Namaste. In this video, we will talk about Urdhva Dhanurasana, which is also generally called as Chakrasana. The correct name of the asana is Urdhva Dhanurasana, which means Urdhva means above or lifted. Dhanur means bow and asana means posture. So, it's a lifted bow posture. I'll come to the details of the asana now. This asana lays the foundation of advanced back bending asanas. The advanced asanas like Kapotasana, Vrishchikasana, all the advanced back bend requires Chakrasana as a foundation. Therefore, practicing Chakrasana is required before going into the difficult back bending postures. Now I'll talk to you about the benefits of Urdhva Dhanurasana. The asana stretches your spinal column to a very great extent. So it improves the flexibility of your backbone. It improves the strength of your backbone. It also improves the strength of your arms, legs, shoulders, knees, thighs, hip joints. All the joints of your arms and legs are strengthened by practicing this asana. Urdhva Dhanurasana also stretches and opens up the front of the body, including your quadriceps, lower abdomen, stomach, chest, throat. All these areas are stretched because we lift up like a bow in the inverted direction. So it opens up the entire frontal part of the body and improves the flexibility of your back. It improves the strength of your shoulders, wrist, knees, hip joints, ankles. All these are the benefits of this asana. Now coming to the limitations. Those who have got problems like slip disc, high blood pressure must avoid this asana. Needless to say, pregnant women must avoid Urdhva Dhanurasana. Now we will come to the details of how to perform this asana. Now, Urdhva Dhanurasana has an intense stretch on the backbone. Therefore, it is necessary to practice a milder back bending just before doing Urdhva Dhanurasana. Asanas like Setubandhasana or Matsyasana or even Ushtrasana, these asanas have to be preceded before doing Chakrasana or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Therefore, today in our demonstration, first we will do Setubandhasana, which is a preparatory asana for Urdhva Dhanurasana. Then we will do Urdhva Dhanurasana, and after doing Urdhva Dhanurasana, we will do Pavana Muktasana, which is done to reverse the effect on the backbone. It changes the direction of the back bending to slightly forward so that the effect of Urdhva Dhanurasana is reversed. So now we will show you how to perform Urdhva Dhanurasana. As I mentioned, we will precede Urdhva Dhanurasana with Setubandhasana first, and after Urdhva Dhanurasana is completed, we will do Pavana Muktasana. Therefore now we are in Samasthiti, Shavasana position. Inhale, take both the arms over your head, place it on the ground. On the exhalation, keep your legs together, point your toes forward. So this is called Samasthiti, from where we are going to start. Now, while inhaling, bend both your legs and bring it close to your hips. Keep it at shoulder distance. While exhaling, bring both the arms down and catch your ankles. So this is the first step of Setubandhasana. Now while inhaling, lift your hips towards the sky, and then after reaching there, slowly start exhaling the breath. So the first exhale is going on. Now inhale your breath. Try to increase the height a little. Good. Maintaining the height, exhale again. Inhale once more. Good. Again one more exhalation. So we are now practicing Setubandhasana and developing the back bend. Now inhale again. We have completed 3 breaths in Setubandhasana. While exhaling, slowly come down. Bring your hips on the floor. Now inhale, release your legs, release your legs. Exhale and relax. So we have done Setu Bandhasana. Now our back is ready for lifting up into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Taking 2 or 3 breaths in between. Now inhale, take both the arms over your head again. Take it up. While exhaling, keep your legs together, pointing the toes forward. Now, while inhaling, bend your legs again, just like Setu Bandha only, keeping it at shoulder distance. While exhaling, keep your palms by the ears, firmly pressed with white fingers. Now, while inhaling, lift your body little and put your crown on the floor. Take an exhale there. Wait there. And then inhale, lift up to wheel posture or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Seniors can also directly lift up to Chakrasana without taking head support. Now stay there. Start exhaling now. While exhaling, look at your eyebrows. Now inhale. We have completed 1 breath there. 1 more exhale. Slowly breathe out. Inhale again slowly. Try to maintain equal timing for in-breath, out-breath. Again, exhale your breath. We'll take 3 breaths in the asana. Now inhale again, the last inhalation. And then slowly exhale and come down. That is the 3rd step. Now inhale, release only the legs forward first. And then exhale, put your hands down to Shavasana. Now relax here for a little time with normal breathing, keeping the arms and legs relaxed. Don't tighten the arms, don't tighten your legs. Keep your eyes closed. So you have completed Urdhva Dhanurasana. We must not stop here. After your breath has returned to normalcy and your heartbeats also have reduced, now we must complement this asana with Pavana Muktasana. So how to do that? Again, keep your legs together, hands close to your body, palm facing the floor. Empty the lungs. Now we are going to do Pavana Muktasana. Now Ekam, inhale, bend both your legs and hug your shin bone with both the hands. While exhaling, lift your head up and try to bring your chin close to your knee. Stay there. Start looking at your nose and inhale. Slowly. Now exhale your breath. Pointing your toes forward. Inhale again. While inhaling, don't squeeze too much. While exhaling, you can squeeze a little more. Good. Let's take 1 more in-breath. Inhale deep and full. Slowly. Ujjayi. And exhale completely. Enough. Now inhaling, keep your head down. And while exhaling, release your legs to Shavasana position. Relax. So this completes the sequence of Urdhva Dhanurasana. First we have to do Setu Bandhasana, then Urdhva Dhanurasana and complemented by Pavana Muktasana. Now we will come to the finer points of this asana and the common errors that people make while practicing this asana. Now the first mistake is that people directly go into Chakrasana. So when you directly go into Chakrasana or Urdhva Dhanurasana, the back is not ready for that intense arch. So therefore, never directly jump into Urdhva Dhanurasana. First practice a preparatory foundation back bending pose like Setu Bandhasana or even Matsyasana or even Ushtrasana, and then go to Chakrasana. The second common mistake is the placement of the feet and the palm. If the feet and the palm are not properly placed, lifting up in Urdhva Dhanurasana becomes very tough, and also you can make injuries on your shoulders, wrist or even the knees, ankles. All this can happen if the placement of your feet or the palm is not correct. Now I'll explain to you the details of this mistake. Always keep your legs in shoulder distance and keep the feet parallel to each other before doing Chakrasana. Now if you keep it close to each other, now this is a wrong method. If you keep your feet close to each other or even shorter also, then also the lifting will become very difficult. So ensure that your feet are kept in shoulder distance. This is a very important point of Urdhva Dhanurasana. While placing the palms on the mat, if you keep the palms too close to the ears and try to lift, then it will be very difficult to lift in Urdhva Dhanurasana. Therefore, you have to keep it little apart and bring it almost shoulder distance so that you can easily lift your body into Urdhva Dhanurasana. At the same time, while you are lifting, don't spread your elbows. If you spread your elbows sideways, then your elbows or the shoulders may get damaged. Therefore, keep your elbow above the wrist before lifting into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So, the legs have to be kept in shoulder distance and the palm also have to be kept in shoulder distance. And elbow should be as the same width as your palm. These are the important points of placement of feet and palm. One more important point of this asana is the placement of the fingers. If you see now, the fingers are kept close to each other. If the fingers are kept like this, there will be too much load on the wrist. Therefore, you have to spread your fingers like a duck foot and share the weight with all the fingers and the wrist so that the wrist is protected while lifting into Urdhva Dhanurasana. Another important point in this asana is that you have to try and bring your shoulders above the wrist. You can see now in this asana the shoulders are coming almost above the wrist. So try to bring your weight in such a way that the weight is shared by both your feet, both your palms, and the shoulders come above the wrist. You can also see the stomach is pulled, your chest is opening up, your throat is pulled, thighs are pulled, and your calf muscles are tight. When you stay in this position, the drishti in this asana is towards your eyebrow. Urdhva Dhanurasana is an intermediate level asana. So have lot of patience while practicing Urdhva Dhanurasana. In the beginning, you may not lift up. It will take quite a little time, maybe a few months to get into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So keep on practicing Setu Bandhasana and develop your back bending capability. And as you saw just now, initially keep the crown on the floor and placing the palm and feet properly. Learn all those important points of placement of palm and feet and try to lift your head a little from the floor and gradually rise up, increase the height of Urdhva Dhanurasana and try to bring your shoulders above the wrist. So have lot of patience while doing Urdhva Dhanurasana. It's an asana which is very powerful. It improves the strength, overall strength of your body and your systems, improves the heart functions also. It has got very good effect on the back. It improves the flexibility of your spine. So keep practicing Urdhva Dhanurasana. Namaste.